careful when they cross the street to go to CVS.
Mm-hmm.
And it has always just really pissed me off. I get safety, I get all of that, but, there's just a part of me that says we need to, put our money where our mouth is, so to speak. And I was invited to think about ideas for the PLACE program with some colleagues at Sisters of Charity, and wrote the grant. It got funded, and as I said, we found out today we're getting our fourth year funding starting in the fall. So it is competitive. Incoming students, first years, they get literally 10 fellowships, and if you get a fellowship, you get these series of experiences, academic, community, curricular, internships, etc. And the goal is really to get students to tap into their own passions and figure out how to use their powers for good. That to me is what really matters. We were invited by Mayor Benjamin and several other people that were involved with lots of different partnerships, relationships, and achievement, both. And Gable Oaks is a community that is been getting some attention in the sense that it is I want to say new model, so Kimberly, if I say anything that's incorrect, correct me. But the bottom line is Gable Oaks, just down the street, was recently purchased by an individual, so the ownership was transferred. It is under a project-based voucher model, which means it went from Title VIII, and I don't want to get into all of the details because I will inevitably screw it up. But the bottom line is, at Gable Oaks, we are running the summer program, working with the kids. There is a community center that is being built as we speak and will be done in August. There is a plan to bring folks on site to have services available as we collaborate with community. We talk about what we call asset-based community development, that we don't go in as the saviors, that we literally, what Kimberly was saying, find the assets in the community. And our goal is to provide opportunities for the kids, opportunities, different social services, et cetera, et cetera. That's all going to be up and running by the fall. We have agreed, the PLACE program, to go in and do the summer program and work with the kids in this time of transition. So we are there 5 days a week from 12 to 2. Lauren and I applied. I shouldn't even say Lauren and I, because this has been going on for me for 2 months. So Lauren applied for a grant through the School of Hope feeding program. We feed them lunch every day at noon. For some of those kids, it's the first time they've eaten. Other kids not. We get a snack. And then we have been trying plan A, B, C, D, E. I think we're up to plan L, M, or N. Exactly what Dr. Heisman said is you got to figure it out as you go along, and oh my God, Jesus, take the wheel. Seriously. I'm from the north, and so just take that for what it is. Anyway, did I mention I was on narcotics? I'm sorry. Bottom line is we are here today to talk to you about giving you an opportunity to be involved with some real life, roll up your sleeves, boot camp, put your boots in the ground thing. Kimberly is taking the leadership to oversee a lot of that, so I don't want to get in too much detail, but we are doing this program with the kids through August 12th, so for the duration of the rest of your class. It has not been easy. I have had a kind of shock factor. I've done lots and lots and lots of work. I have lots of classes that work in community, but with the schools, with churches, with structures. So this has been very different for me, going into a neighborhood, going into somebody else's turf, so to speak, lack of a better word, working with these kids, not in a structured environment. And it has been amazing and difficult and powerful. So we want to invite you to be involved with us. We want to invite you during your lunch hour to come to Gable Oaks and to work with the kids. There are lots of challenges in Gable Oaks. There are a lot of amazing things, as Katie said, in Gable Oaks. But we are here to share this opportunity with you and to invite your participation. So you come back up. So
so we need you.
Yeah, I need you. Yeah.
Yes,
so
we need you.
And
And what we have discussed with Dr. Shirley is using Gable Oaks as our case study. So
Yes.
I am inviting you, and we are inviting you not only to come to the table and be a part of it, but to use this as a case study where we can examine how it started, what didn't go quite well, or what we planned for, but what the reality was. And through the course of this, with all of us at the boardroom table together, we're going to be able to possibly turn this into something else or plan on an even bigger scale for the next time that it happens. So we're actually enlisting you as our partners at the table to be able to really impact this community in a way that they're not expecting. Dr. Berg and Lauren and Katie cannot do it by themselves. So I've been taking my lunch break and eating federally funded food.
Oh, fun.
This is fun.
Yes, they tricked me because I'm a burger connoisseur, and my first day there, they were serving burgers. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. Yeah, yeah,
You're like, oh, this is daycare for you.
yeah, and then we had something else that I didn't recognize. And, but it was okay. So we need you. They're there from 12 to 2 every day. And so tonight I brought calendars so you can tell me what days you can come and help. And I brought sign-up sheets so you can give us your contact information so we can follow up with you. And then as we are pulling our team together of everybody that's going to be involved, I'll be visiting periodically so that we can assess where we are, how we're growing, how we're progressing, what our needs are. So we'll be doing somewhat of a SWOT analysis with this project so that even if we don't get it all right this time, we're going to make sure we've put forth our best effort and we'll have the information that we need so that we can move forward.
What all is needed, like, as far as the
Hands
care?
and feet.
That's it, like, there's no certain program that you need specific people for, or it's
We
just
have
there
that
to hang out
12
with
to
the
2
kids?
window. Well, not necessarily hang out. We're trying to also, that's a part of it, getting to know them a little more, but having enough warm bodies to be able to do that.
Yeah,
To get to know them, to see exactly what their needs are, and to be able to build a relationship with them. Because initially, when you're saying, okay, we've got this program, this is your time, what do you want? I don't know you.
how old
Why
are
would
they?
I talk to you? They start at, we have an elementary group, and then we have a middle high kind of group.
Older kids.
Everybody for the feeding program, federally, we have to have anybody from age 3 to 18. Everybody gets food. So when they come in, we have kids of all sorts of ages. We have a lot of little bitty ones, 3 years old, and then we have a good bit of middle schools age. But then after lunch, they have to go home because we really just don't, the space does not, we're in an apartment and the space does not allow, it's not safe to have 3-year-olds running around. And so the program starts at about 2nd grade, Katie's 2nd and 3rd, and then we have like a 4th and 5th, and then we have like a 6th and 7th, and it really varies each day. But we try to break them up into groups because, yeah.
Okay, so you do more than lunch, but you need help from 12 to 2 for lunch, is that what?
Lunch is not, to me, lunch is important, but lunch is easy.
Yeah.
I want these kids to get more attention. I want them
Okay.
to, I want you to have an opportunity to see, I will tell you that, I think that I'm pretty confident at what I do, but boy, generational poverty in theory and generational poverty in practice, whole different thing. And, I think what these kids need is just more people, more attention. We bring them together in a larger group, it's hard to keep their attention, the space is not ideal, it is what it is. But I think we're potentially losing some kids through the cracks and just trying to manage the groups and really give them that individual attention so we can cater to them. Dr. Moody was there, he's a professor on campus, and we built a volcano today. So some days we literally play games, some days we've tried projects. We have to try something different every time because there is no answer. But we have got these kids and we need more bodies. We just need more human beings to tell them and show them that they're important.
And there's
And
very
work
little
with them.
parental support.
Very little.
And so a lot of times the kids are there so mom can have a break, and when you've got a mom that's dealing with all of this, and those 2 hours a day, they know the kid is safe. So they're not concerned about behavior and the things that we may have to deal with. They're just concerned that the child is safe for those 2 hours and that they're getting a meal.
What days and times are you open?
Monday through Friday, 12 to 2.
We serve lunch right at 2 every day. And
12.
then,
Narcotics.
It's the drugs.
thank you.
Did you
I
say you
swear
were
to
on
God. I'm so on narcotics. Thank you, Jesus, I'm on narcotics, but, oh, sorry, you don't know me. Lunch is over generally by 12:30. And then we've invited other community partners. The police were there today. That was really interesting, thinking about what Kimberly was saying, these kids, police came in, a couple of the kids were like, literally, hands up, and just watching them try to create relationship. We have a word of the day. Katie has been consistently working with a small group at elementary. She always needs help. But the group, I think, that obviously needs more attention is the middle and the higher kids, because they need more, in my opinion, more individual attention.
Yeah.
They need more human interaction. They need more responsibility. They just need more people to see them and hear them.
Is there a plan to continue this on through, like, in the future for?
There is, that
the whole
literally,
year?
we're in this apartment that's not ideal, and right behind us, they're building this beautiful building.
Right.
It's gonna be done in August. There's gonna be, a big opening. And at that point, there are a slew of us who have been asked to be involved in support services that literally look at issues of health and wellness, look at issues of educational enhancement, look at issues of connecting community members to social services more, having community members be more responsible to give back to the community, which is what the project-based voucher thing in a nutshell means. So, yeah, it is the beginning of, it's been in the news, it's the beginning of a model that we're trying, and that the powers that be, not me, are trying to emulate and really look at as a community engagement model all around,
Okay.
in both directions, win-win. But it's been hard, it's hard, the moms have been hard, they're exhausted, or they're not present, or, it's just getting, one of my shocks is getting permission slips back, have them, just, things that I would take in my middle class mindset, take for granted, or that I would not do for my child, and then really understanding what it is that folks are dealing with, and then setting that aside, and knowing that we can work with the parents more, but also just making sure that the kids, again, are engaged, and we see them and we hear them.
I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna have a couple kids come up to you, 3 at a time, 4 at a time, asking for your attention, and you can't give them all attention. So someone's gonna get their feelings hurt, and then you feel bad.
But I'll be there to support you. And you'll have support in place throughout. We're creating a village. And not just the village for the kids, but we need it as well, because the work we do, as much as we try to separate feeling like a failure when it's not working, we feel it. Because we feel like, as the adults, we're supposed to have the answers. We have the resources. We're supposed to be able to fix it. And when they're not responding to what we're doing, and we don't know what else to do, it can be exhausting. And so we're here not only to support and surround them, but to support and surround one another in the efforts that we're doing to make a change in this community. So please, sign up. The calendars are over there for the days that you can come and be available. And then we need your contact information so that we can follow up with you and talk about any additional information you'll need, training sessions and things like that as we move forward. And Dr. Shirley will have all that information for you.
How can you, I want to pull you in here, just because you've been there and connected to your class, or,
Right.
we're not coming in to take over your class, we're really looking at this as a collaboration.
But at the same time, I realize that everybody's time is valuable, and so the additional training that Kimberly Jowers is willing to do with us is going to be done in our class period. All right, so we'll have 3 more times that she will be with us in class, but you can tell already, we've only got a few class periods left. So this is going to be a fast ride, but I think there's a lot to be learned, even though it's in a short period of time. And I think also there's going to be opportunities for continued involvement into the fall. So this is, if you're in the program at all, there's going to be other ways that this is going to get pulled.
There's tons of stuff being developed. Right now, this summer, our commitment is to the kids. We decided to start with kids and community on site. But when the community center is up and running, there'll be space and more other folks. And Columbia College has taken a real
Is there a way that we can decide, at like maybe next week, what days we can, I stay home with my kids during the day. Now, if you don't mind me bringing my kids with me, I can be there every day. But if it's something that I need a sitter for, then,
How old are your kids?
2, almost 2 and 4.
I would say that's too young.
Okay.
I would say it would be hard for you to watch them to your satisfaction and also be
Yeah.
pulled by the other kids.
Yeah.
So is there?
I bring my son, you know, but he's
Yeah.
16.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there a way that we can like maybe contact you later on this week or the beginning of next week? Cause I'll have to schedule someone to be able to sit with my boys.
Yeah, let Dr. Huston know when she can access me and,
Okay.
yeah, we'll run it through our chains that way.
Okay.
How do we, because I'm graduating in December, how do I continue to do this once I graduate?
Just talk to me.
Okay.
Is there, well, I'll ask anyway, is there a plan to maybe do like an after-school program in the fall?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. There is, and actually, I'm teaching, one of the classes I'm teaching in the fall is Women in Social Justice, and that is scheduled at the after-school time. And so we are planning to take kind of different facets of this holistic program and help develop it in ways we can, and to engage our students in ways that they can, so they get some boots on the ground experience. And then have a place like this classroom to process it and really roll up your sleeves and really learn.
And
in
for
the field.
instance, the senior social workers in our macro practice class will be involved in some aspect of this as well. And as I told you before, part of this kind of process is being comfortable with messiness, because we don't know necessarily where it's going, and we don't know what it will look like in a week, because every day that it's there, people are learning more things, and they're changing things, and they're saying, it worked so well today, so we gotta do it differently tomorrow. They're not responding to this, so what do we want to do differently as we move in there? So, unlike some other arenas of practice, this has lots of fluidity, lots of fluidity. And if that makes you anxious and your OCD goes crazy, then that will be something you learn about too.
Right. What other questions, concerns, or curiosities do you have? Because we have, oh my goodness, we're way over. We're over time.
If the time you said from 12 to 2, if your lunch break is only an hour, is there, which part of that is the best
1
time?
to 2. 12 to 12:30 is lunch, and then there's some transition time. 1 to 2 is the time that we're really trying, I've got a student who is a practicing student from Middle Tech. 1 to 2 is the time where I really want to get these kids to have some people working with them. And so that's much more, serving lunch is easy. But like I said, I want these kids to be seen, and that we need more adults for that to really happen.
Before anybody leaves, you're going to be back next week, right?
Yes.
So on your syllabus, it says we're going to be in the library next week, but Ms. Dowers can be here with us next week, so we're going to take that opportunity to do more training with her. The library will be the week after.
Okay.
And I'll send out another email about that, just as a reminder, but know that that changes.
Do our articles due next week? Like I saw it's on the syllabus, but
Yeah, I will.
so we bring those to class.
What type of articles are we looking for?
Newspaper.
Newspaper.
So if this is a project that's interesting to you, and you want to find news articles on other examples of this, or news articles about this particular community here in Columbia, go.
Okay, where are we meeting? I don't know where to go.
Here.
I'm talking about tomorrow from 1 to 2.
Yeah, I can write it on the board. It's 901 Colleton Street.
Please do go look at the website for the Place Fellows program. It will give you a lot of context as well that we're kind of skipping over. But we want you to make this your own. We want you to make it your own in the context of the source and in the context of what you want to do and develop the professional.
And speaking of articles, I have a few, I only have 3, but a few articles printed out by WLTX. They did a story on Gable Oaks and the transition, so if you're interested in looking at it, make sure you get one to
Thank you guys, you were amazing tonight.
Yeah, you're fun.
Okay,
But is there a way that I can contact?
Okay, we can do the project. Sure. Can I take a picture of you for social media post for tomorrow? Sure. Okay. Did you park out there too?
I don't want to be the first person to walk by this and make it fall.
Oh, I went behind it.
Sorry. No, y'all can go ahead.